Hello everyone, welcome to dmetalgalaxy YouTube channel, where we bring reviews, interviews and dmetalgalaxy news into your living room. So subscribe and like, as we have regularly new content on our YouTube channel. And this time I'm going to do a bit of different review, as I will be reviewing for the first time a live performance. And this will be about Cruachan's latest show, the 30 years of folk metal. And in this review, I will dive in if Cruachan's 30 years of folk metal represented and was an embodiment of 30 years of folk metal. And the support of the night were from Pox Men and Celtachor, so I will review them first. And then I will talk about Cruachan, and in the end I will just give a summary of the night. So yeah, grab your bus and enjoy this review on Cruachan live gig. Pox Men, the first support band of the night, was Pox Men, which was quite interesting as they were standing there with green paint on their face and also a drum kit you normally see in folklore bands. And then their set was, whoa, like they were from a different ancient country. Well, Old Gaelic actually, because the singer wasn't not only singing in English but as well in Old Gaelic. And on top of this, a lot of music they were making, it sounded much more folker. So yeah, Pox Men was really interesting to see and something I've definitely not seen before. Celtachor was an interesting twist on the night, as they were much more extreme than the other two bands, and the very reason for this was the focus on unclean vocals. However, they had some folklore vibe, as the death metal grunts were combined with folklore instruments, folklore tunes, but as well the outfits and how they dressed. They were just in green, barefoot and with Viking clothes or Old Gaelic ones, and as a result you just got the folkish vibe from this band. And they also had some support from Jofur Drengir, a re-enactment group, which were basically Vikings, and they were reenacting battles. They were just making sounds. So this is the arrival of the Jura. They were strengthening the folkish elements in this performance. Yeah, then you had the next act, the main act, Cruachan. And Cruachan was, whoa, what a band. The introduction was quite impressive, as you saw John Ryan just playing harp, and then you saw green smoke, which really enhanced that you were just standing there in the forest enjoying folkish music. And then step by step the 30 years of folk metal was being told by Keith. However, it didn't happen in chronicle order. It was, I think, a mix-up of everything, because you had first the classical songs, Then you had Jofur, the brother of Keith, playing tin whistle. And then you had Kim Dilla playing the new song How to. And then you had Karen Gilligan playing the old Cruachan song. So yeah, it was a bit of mix-up of everything. In the history, I would have preferred, I think, Chronicle. It would make it easier how the genre came to be, but overall, I really like tonight. So I'm just going step by step on the gig, at least from a Chronicle point of view when I was standing there and watching the show. So yeah. The first part that we saw were the old classical Cruachan songs. And Jofur Drengir, the re-enactment group, did a great job because first they were just passing their shields and swords, making like battle song and like sucking you into the atmosphere of old times. But as well, they reenacted battles. They were just fighting with each other with swords, and also, yeah, it was impressive. And as a result, there was some visualization to the songs about battles, that Cruachan songs, so it was a really nice edge to the night. And then Jofur was called on stage by Keith, as Keith was just telling about the history of Cruachan. And it was really nice to have the tin whistle because it's a very folky instrument, and it gave a dynamic as well because the sound was a bit different than the classical. And this was the moment I started to notice that Cruachan they're much more Celtic, I would say, Celtic metal. They're much different than folk metals around that I know, like Ignia, their beginning albums, and Orphaned Land, as they're much calmer. So yeah, it was interesting to see what a different kind of folk metal entails. Then after Jofur played some songs with Cruachan, there was a part where Irish songs were played, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that I heard these songs in old carols, gift shops, but as well on St. Patrick's Day or very Irish pubs. So yeah, it was nice to hear Keith just sing traditional Irish songs, and I really started to feel that this night was not only folk metal but a cultural exchange of the Irish culture and just in general experiencing some different culture. And after this, Kim Dilla came on stage, and Kim Dilla, whoa, what a voice, but as well, what a singer. So first of all, she has so much energy and passion to give. She was just dancing around and dancing to around, and she was so affectionate. Like, I was so tempted to join her in and just jump around as well during their set. But as well, Kim Dilla's voice like nicely contemplate with Keith's, because her voice is soft. It doesn't overshadow Keith's voice, and Keith's voice doesn't overshadow her voice, so they really blend in nicely together. And I think that's why I love Hawthorne, which is actually my favorite one of Cruachan, so much, because it's such a nice voice where both of their voices like really stand out. And then after a couple of songs, Karen Gilligan joined the stage on time However, I would say that it was an amazing night where I got an Irish exchange and got a real taste of the culture. Also, if you look at the crowd, behaved very differently than in normal gigs. Instead of headbanging, they were just holding each other, dancing around, hopping around. So yeah, that was also interesting to see. So yeah, in summary, the night was certainly folkish, and each band brought the Celtic culture in their own way alive by appearance and playing music in a different music that was heavily influenced by folk influences. Pox Men were a great opener as they had really folklore tunes and they played nicely traditional songs as well. Whereas Celtachor offered a twist as they were playing Celtic metal with death metal, which was interesting and something I haven't heard. And then the re-enactment group was a great addition as they visualized everything to the crowd, how battles could be, how people were dressed. So yeah, that was great. And then the main act, Cruachan. Whoa, what a band. They're definitely an embodiment of folk metal as they seriously take the dress code. They were in kilts and Viking shirts. And also they had so much folklore instruments and they were just switching from instruments, like they had harps, violins, tin whistles, like everything on to just give a folklore or music. And this offers really a diverse show as each time you will hear a different side of Cruachan that you actually haven't heard yet. And Keith greatly told the stories, how the band came to be, and about events during the years. So yeah, overall it was a great show where I get a good taste of Irish heritage, although it was quite a pity that Cruachan hadn't a chance to finish the show. But overall, great night, great to learn Irish heritage, and yeah, fantastic night. So subscribe and like as we have regular more content. Also check the links below to follow our bands and so on. So yeah. Bye. See you next time.